folks, welcome back for another episode of Our Journeys, and we are kicking things off with Radopia, who we actually ended the last game off with, but we have queued into another one of his games. And just the little bit that I saw, just very heads-up player, not brand new to the game, but and yeah, it says not a fan of the BMing. He actually watched Aros's Spotlight and kind of saw how he plays the game and his philosophy, and it fortunately happily had an impact. And so we're getting to see him here and just playing some. These are I'm not sure if every deck we see is going to be his own concoction, but I do know that was something that a joy he found, and something that I put, because I know Aros said so much of the game, most of the game is always going to be piloting. It's going to be how you play it. You can have the best deck in the world. Tiago's control decks. I'm not sure what that means. One drop. Oh! I think he's saying Relentless Raiders are, or maybe Morag Tongs. Either way, Morag Tongs and Relentless Raiders are both crazy cool cards. All right, so we might see a Dune Smuggler here to get his Trader out of the way. He's going to leave his Relentless Raiders alive because he can still hit for 8. And actually, he can. Yeah, no, he can't do for more than that. Okay, didn't hit the prophecy. Yeah, so I think we're gonna see the lane shift, hit for more, get the value out of those Relentless Raiders. Oof, one off from another, a nice series of it, and unfortunately the Relentless Raiders will both perish to the crab and the balling Dwemer. Literally a Dwemer riding a ball. But he got good value out of him, and with Swift Strike, Cliff Racer. Okay, got another Dwemer on the ball. That hurts. But again, Cliff Racer and Swift Strike is 8. So all he's got to do is hit with stuff. Alright, well that's an easy that sets up an easy trade in the shadow lane. Now granted, these little turd muffins are gonna come back, Gearwork Spiders, that's, as you play one and it brings them all back. But it also brings back the assassin, who wants to be like Naryu. Okay, making a wise trade there. It's because he's got the other one that he can pair with Swift Strike for 8 damage, later on. He doesn't have enough magic for that at the moment, so I'm not sure if he would have done that anyway. But I think it's a smart play to keep the board as big, especially since you're not up against a deck that runs something like Ice Storm. You don't have to worry about mash or what's the one, the shout in agility, and that's gonna be game. Good stuff, Radopia. Pleasure watching you work. That's fine. He's got Swift Strike for days. Oh, that's not going to take up all 2 lanes. Okay, now, bam. There he goes. GG. We are joining Aros NPO once again. Up against Daniel. I guess it's Daniel R? Danular? Danular. It's like granular, but with a D. And no R. Whatever. Oh.
Wait. Did you hear that?
All right. Sorry, I my mind feels fuzzy for whatever reason today. I don't know why. I should be actually at near peak performance, but I'm just a little out of it.
Are mine to control.
So just happy. Was very happy to see Daniel just playing. It's just good to see Guildsworn. Being cool. Alright, so Aros saying he is going to play Wisp Mother. It's either Assassin or Telvanni. So we will probably stick around for at least one of those games, just to see the shenanigans. But yeah, for those who don't know, Aros actually had 2 accounts. Oh, and that's why it's Aros plus NPO, duh. I think, if I'm not mistaken, because Aros.NPO, I think he gave that to somebody else. I won't say who, but he had 2 different accounts, and he's given them both away.
The forest will not suffer your presence.
He's going to trade with a Broom of Profiteer, getting some really significant value. Of course, though, Aros has the Piercing Javelin and is... Oh no, he's going to play Giggles. Oh, going for the Imprison, perhaps? But it doesn't have to be 4? Yeah, 4 more. So that's not going to get it done, because the makeshift defenses are not willpower. They're just crummy old neutral cards. Okay, he's going to Javelin. And like I said, probably trade with... Yep. Yep. If there's one thing you learn the hard way, and you only have to learn it once, no matter what you may think the odds are, if your opponent has the Brett Conjure, if you leave him on the board unsilenced, they will find a way to reward him immediately and wreck you with it. So, never a great idea. And that is going to be a sad summoned Guildsworn, but it does allow for a card draw, a sad card draw to some degree, you could argue. But with that marked man, Imprison does become active, provided the rest of the board stays up, which means if Daniel plays a monastery monk or monastic. Oh no, that is going to get imprisoned. That has to be imprisoned. I love to see it. I love expertise, but you can't let that thing live. There's a reason why it's got a little teeny tiny 2/3 body. So yeah, Giggles is going to enable the imprison. Kind of ironic that.
Wait. Did you hear that?
She would do that.
How can I serve?
It's like, haha, I'm gonna laugh as I imprison / destroy you. Those things are so hard to keep alive. Oops, it's alright. Because they are so powerful.
Keep your distance.
Oh, interesting. I would think the standard bearer would get that treatment, because if Aros finds a support, she's gonna spit out another one of these 2/2s. Okay, does not find a support. Aros. If it wasn't for bad luck, wouldn't have any at all. But he's going to be able to continue to push damage. And Daniel, looking at... Well, that 2/3 is going to be a big deal. I mean, it's going to at least be 1 drain or healing, however you want to think of it. And possibly 2 if he tries to keep it alive. Actually, he will keep it alive, because I think his Harpy's going to trade with a standard bearer. I mean, it doesn't matter, Harpy or Earthbone. They're both going to die trading into these 2. One of these 2.
Be gone!
But he survives. Or she survives? I don't know. I think it's... Maybe it is a she. Yeah, I think that was a lady saying, "Be gone."
Out of my sight. To oblivion.
The only thing that, like, typically you don't see a lot of, even though she's one of my favorite cards, and I would run her in a Guildsworn deck. Probably Daniel not running the Ibn Hart Oracle. Worldly Wanderer's not going to be able to bring out the good stuff. He's only going to be able to fetch a little bit of an elixir. A little itty-bitty elixir is what I meant to say. You'd need Divine Fervor in order to pull something bigger. But it does put a good old 3/5 body that actually can die. 3, yep. Plunder, great carding combination with expertise. Daniel probably has pulled a nice weapon to put on his Daggerfall, or he's looking for one. 5 cost. I mean, the axe. There's a 4/1 axe that could get the job done, or a couple scimitars. Okay, just enough. Leaves just Giggles to try to hit face, provided there's no guard here. Wow, another Daggerfall mage. And once again, we see now, it happened with Spell Sword. in the last game, in the last session, and now we're seeing it again with this one. Despite it really it seems like this deck really lives or dies on forward camp, because that is the draw engine. Really, that's the only. Well, I mean, we saw he had Priest of the Eight. That is not negligible. But yet, it's the second time we're seeing this card kind of running out of gas at the end. Now, the good news is this has more reach than Spell Sword. Spell Sword has, and we may see Daniel, now that he's down to under at 5, we're probably going to see this one, Dragonfire Wizard, make the trade so that he has that 3. Or he's going to try to snowball it and just get it really big and sacrifice it. Because right now he's got enough magicka and enough cards that he could squish it anytime he wants. So yeah, Aros is on the clock. This may be another loss at the crucial moment. If Daniel did not have, is right now 5 health, or 5 healing, just sitting on the board waiting to be used, I'd say Aros is still in a pretty good position. But right now, barring a silence or some way to get rid of those, they're just going to keep getting bigger and bigger. And yeah, Daniel keeping that Shadow Lane nice and beefy. Trying to make his push into Legendary. Might actually be able to do it. Don't know where he's at in the Thief. But yeah, really, Aros needing that forward camp. And have we seen... We did see an action. Oh, but it's a full board. It is a full board. That is the saddest state of affairs for the Majors Guild Conjurer. Actually had already triggered. Now, it doesn't change it, because it... And yeah, boy, he's got... Does he have lethal? That's 6, 8, 9, 10. Oh yeah, he's got it. Of course he does, because he can squish those two and go face, I believe, with their lash or whatever it's called, the flame lash. I think can target face.
Find something useful.
Oh, but he mills it. Ooh, wow. He may still have it. I haven't done the math. 4, 9, 10.
Out upon it.
I mean, he's got it. Oh yeah, he's got the steel daggers and the scimitar. Yeah, he's got it. All right. Well, good game, Aros. Boy. And we are joining Aros once again. This one for a palate cleanser. Went through the rigors of the support deck thing, brain working, not words so much. But this is, I call it meme mother, because Aros has admitted that it is kind of a meme, but it uses Wisp Mother, and essentially he has a way. Oh yeah, so Aros saying if you're playing limited actions or spells. Oh, and he's up against Sirius, the invader. But hopefully we'll see it get done. So this deck is capable. Aros was just telling me, if you have limited spells or limited actions, i.e. the Fear Totem, you can, with Wisp Mother and Aren, have an entire board of Arens, or a ton of them.
The Fighters Guild stands ever ready.
Because you can essentially, well, hopefully we'll see it in action here. He describes it to me, but actions speak louder than words. Picture's worth 1,000 words. Words just really are crappy. I don't even know why we have them anymore. There's so many things that are better. But hopefully we will get to see it in action. Because honestly, I hear what he's saying, but it's one of those things which probably won't click until I actually see it. But I mean, essentially a way to, with Wisp Mother and the Fear Totem, if you had 2 Wisp Mothers on the board, you can Fear Totem your Aren back. She becomes a 2-drop, and then it'll spit out. You play her, and then it spits out 2 duplicates. So you have 3 A-Rens. The only thing is, oh, and she self-perpetuates because she's going to bring back the Fear Totem. There we go. That's the key, I think, that I was missing, is that you can, as Aros was saying, you can fill up a lane with A-Rens. And I was like, well, how do you do that? Even with one Wisp Mother, you do it one time, it's just going to keep bringing the Fear Totem back. And that's why you really want to have very few items. Now, we do see he's got Lightning Bolt and Mighty Conjuring, so he said it is a limited number of spells. That doesn't mean that it is the only thing. That's where I go, because I'm an extremist when it comes to that sort of thing. No giggles! She fell to the Oreo cookie. Yeah. Yeah. And we actually had a discussion, several of us. I mean, it wasn't really a discussion per se. We were just throwing out comments, but like me, Steve City, I'm trying to remember who else. Essentially talking about like RNG in the game and just how much of it do you want in there. And, you know, just the random keywords thing for me just really, I think there's enough RNG in the game without it, but I don't want to beat it at a horse. I think I've talked about that before. But it was just, like, I think the crazy thing is because this game is so... Of course it gets charge. I mean, it did get, what, 3 keywords? So yeah, this may be GG for Aros.
Fear me, mortal.
Ooh, that's good. It's helpful. I don't know if that's going to be enough to pivot because every card coming down is going to be... Oh, jeez. Is going to get charged, guaranteed. Pretty much. I mean, technically not. Well, they did get a rune break before. I don't know if she bumped up the gate before she died or not. Yeah, 2 for 3 on charge. And it's just going to become more likely as we go through. 1, 2, 3. Only 3 keywords, and one of them's charge.
Fear me, mortal.
Yeah, and serious... Should be seriously, like, really? And there we go, charge, breakthrough, blah, 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 blah.
Succumb to me.
And does not get charge on the 4, which is helpful for Aros. I don't know if he's going to be able to... He needed, like, he needed a... What do you call it? I mean, yeah. Alright, so is he gonna punt the gate? 6, 10, 15. He has to punt something that's already on the board. Probably the 5-4. I'm thinking the 5-4. That does... It buys him a turn. He needs... I mean, but anything Sirius plays at this point is going to be... The thing, though, is if he plays the belly G, he punts out the 5-4. If Sirius does not get charge on the next creature that comes down, Mighty Conjuring is a thing. Yeah, it's just gonna be tough. Any which way you slice it. I don't think there's really... He's probably done it in a turn or two. But this at least gives him a chance. I mean, it would be so tempting to punt the gate, but he's dead as it is now. Oh, so yeah, I'm sorry, I wasn't even thinking. Of course, he's going to have a creature come down, and more than likely it is going to get charged.
I am the emptiness of the
there's charge. First keyword. Yep.
Fear me, mortal.
5 out of 7, I believe so. It might have been 6 out of 7. All right, we're giving Aros another go. Oh my gosh! Why, game? Why? It's not even game. Why? Oh, the douche! The douche! In my moment of mourning, the douche comes down and does what the douche does, and he is swiftly punished. I think that was out of spite. Why else would you waste a whatchamacallit,
Preparations have been
edict on a douche. The damage has been done. Got rid of your precious workshop. Unless you're Santa Claus. Okay, well, hey, that's fair. Hall of the Dwemer, always been a very good, if not necessary. I think he's going to just hold on to that. Yeah, doesn't really want to punt anything out of the way. Fingers of the Mountain up next turn, and is going to be just what the Doctor ordered. If he decides to go there, right? He could play Giggles and then Fingers of the Mountain, like Bruma into Giggles. No, he's going to just go and take the damage off the board as it is now. A wise play. And Reese Peace Deist?
I will keep
Reese Peace Deist?
people
I think that's how you
alive.
say that.
Greetings.
Starting to run out of cards a little bit. Does have some of the All-Stars. Obviously, the Halls of the Dwemer are a big one. And then Yagram. I never get his name right. Yagram. Bagarn? Yagram Bagarn? Oh, and I did find out... Oh, never mind. I got a pronunciation for Plam. From Poland. And I believe it is Plamsack. Plam... Okay, I have to look at my notes again. He told me I gotta look at it again. Plamcack. But I'm not sure if that's
Repel the
hard C? I don't know.
violence at my age.
Or something? They're coming to get me. I know.
Alrighty, and just a quick reminder, we are in the midst of the competition, the Shred for the Bread competition. Ooh, Wisp Mother. Looking for... He's got 2 Wisp Mothers, actually. That's almost an embarrassment of Richards. Up against a pretty sizable board. So yeah, maybe 2 Brumas into Giggles. Maybe. Just to get some health regen. Although, again, you gotta they're equal in health, so yeah, it's gonna be a pretty big deal. It's kind of a race, really. Yeah, no favorable trades for Giggles in the field lane.
Preparations have been made.
Be interesting to see. Okay, so he's going to hold on to the Profiteer, I guess. Maybe play Black Marsh? Okay, no, brings back the Belly G for next turn. It's not going to be able to be Wisp Mothered, because it didn't go down to 2. But Giggles does go bye-bye.
I'm gonna get them first.
And we'll see what Reese Peace Deist throws down next. Okay, not horrible. Probably gonna give it lethal. Yep. So, and now that comes down. Okay, yeah, so Reese drawing a little bit of the low end here in the mid-game. Not ideal, certainly, for him. But ideal for Aros. Because, again, these are all 1 damage. Right now, it's all about damage, not really about the board control. That's going to be a bit painful. So we may see the belligerent... We may see... Let's see. Wardcrafter into Bruma, into Wardcrafter, into Belly G. That's my call. Because Wardcrafter allows the... Oh, no. Nope. I am already... Oh, so a little bit of a... Oh, wait. No, because it's going to spawn 2. I was going to say ordering issue there, but no, that's actually going to allow another one. And boy, the heals. Oh, the heals. Aros has a beautiful mind. Beautiful mind. And the great thing, head game too, like, Reese knew that he brought his Belly G back, so he was probably... He could play around that, but Aros had no intention.
I'm gonna get them first.
Oh yeah, so okay, and that's how... Oh wait, no, Black Marsh is not one of his native cards. I was going to say, where does that fit in? I mean, granted, yeah, no, it's a 3 cost anyway, so it wouldn't work. So that was helpful, but without some mash removal... 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12, 13, 14, 15... Aros can get rid of very little of that. Yeah. Abner. No real good targets for Abner that I can see. You gonna doppelgang the Wisp Mother? Or the Bruma? Does the Wisp Mother. You can play 2 more cards. One of them is a 2 cost. None of them are guards. Alright, so this may...
Careful there. Watch yourself now. Careful there, friend.
That may be enough to keep him alive for 1 more turn. The wards. Wards for everyone! Yeah, if Aros can stay alive survive this next turn, meaning barring another Halls. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 13. So Reese is 3 off of lethal as it stands now, and Aros is threatening. And yep, we see the trade. No, he doesn't have Halls. He is going on the defensive. Again, as we can see, Reese is a top 10 player, so recognizing when he needs to. Okay, Mudcrab Merchant in effect, and we are for sure going to see Belly G come down and punt. Never mind. Why use that resource when you can just trade for it? Okay, all right. Make Ulfric's Uprising super cheap. And I could see that actually being used, like with a Fear Totem, too, to make it like a 0 cost. That'd be pretty cool.
The haste will make me strong.
He's putting it there, demanding a trade. Otherwise, he becomes a 5/5 next. Well, not next turn. He becomes a 5/5 2 turns. A usable 5/5 2 turns from now. Of course, Reese knows that Aros is still sitting on that Belly G, but he's got the Belly G and the Abner. Oh, all right. Well, we don't have the. We might. Could we see the Wisp Mother Aren combo here? If she brings back,
We fight for the glory
she brings
of
back
lost
Fear Totem.
myriad.
She does not. But that's actually exactly what Ross needs right now. Ross needs. Sorry. And now he's got 12. Brings back a rapid shot. Again, probably not what he wanted, but got some 0 cost actions he can play. Going for the draw. And the more. Oh, an aspect. Nice. That's probably going to do it. I don't know what Reese has. Oh, no. Not the Big Daddy. Okay, no. Okay. So you can shackle 2, though. Yeah. So we might... Oh. Gosh, he's got so many. I mean, it's not enough at the moment. But he is going to get rid of that workshop. Just in case if Reese top decked the Titan, that's game over. Well, not game over, because he has no cards in his hand. But it would make things very difficult. Breaks the rune. Gonna hit for 2. And we know he's sitting on Aspect and Abner. However he wants to do it.
From the last living.
Yep. Aros said it best. It was a slog, but we got there. It was some really good playing. That was another one. As we can see, the win was possible, but he could have made a lot of misplays that would have resulted in a loss. Reese played it very well. Fortunately, the workshops were never really they didn't survive long enough to be an issue. They could very well have been. But Aros was able to punt them away as soon as they spawned. Good job, sir.
This episode sponsored in small part by the legendary Remnant Discord. A long time ago, I was just a sad and lonely Elder Scrolls Legends player. But then I found the legendary Remnant Discord, and I was no longer lonely. I could tell people how bad I was at the game, and they could see how bad I was at the game. And then I started getting a little bit better, and a little bit better. And now, I am totally ranked number 1. Don't check that out. Don't look anywhere. Just take my word for it. I'm not going to tell you my screen name, but Legendary Remnant Discord is awesome. Okay, well, I tried. Okay, so the real sponsor of this video is Mage's Focus, a card, once again, from the brilliant mind of Vincenzo. Congratulations, by the way, Vincenzo, recently having become a father. Wonderful experience, or so I'm told. Definitely has a strong impact, obviously, on someone's life. But anyway, putting that out there, as we turn to the Mage's Focus, it is a 3-cost in, goodness gracious, Mage. It is an action, and relatively simple. Put an Ice Spike or Execute into your hand. So, Ice Spikes are 2 cost, Execute is 1 cost. This is essentially a combination of both because you're getting the option of both. Tutoring is a very powerful ability, and being able to choose which one of these situationally is going to be better for you is fantastic. Do you want the draw and a little bit of reach, or do you want to get rid of that bothersome Daggerfall mage or the Breton Conjurer who, I mean, unless you're me, you don't ever put him down there without triggering him, but, you know, some people, like myself, still do that from time to time. So, again, very, very straightforward. I like that it adds a layer of versatility. You can pack this instead of an Ice Spike and an Execute, and because you rarely need both. More than likely you want one or the other, and sometimes you have the wrong one. So this I like it. We probably can't have too many cards like this, because if you have, essentially, it would be almost like having a 120 card deck and 60 cards, because it's like you can play either or. But I think in moderation, I think cards like this are a great thing for the game, and I don't really have a whole lot more to say about it. I think it's a great card. Obviously the art is a little bit, you know, we got some jagged lines. It was kind of a not quite a smooth cutout of it, but the card art in general seems very TESL. Maybe a little simplistic to a degree, especially in the face. So this probably could use an HD up convert, but overall, obviously, I mean, I think Mage's Focus. You see a mage looking very focused and very magey, and I like it. I like it, and like I said, I like options. I like tutoring. I like it's the complete opposite of RNG. RNG is, you know, okay, but whatever the game's gonna do, it's gonna do. Cards like this are as much as the game can allow without it losing what makes it a CCG like this. You have options. You have either an Execute or an Ice Spike, depending on the situation. And again, it is a 3 cost, but I think that's fair. Because yeah, otherwise it's essentially an Ice Spike. Nobody would ever play an Ice Spike anymore. You just play this because, you know, there's no downside to it. So I think the 3 cost, I think you need to pay for that versatility. I think that's important. So Vincenzo, I 100% agree with the cost that this card is incurring. And yeah, I think it's cool. I think I would play it. Yeah, especially, oh my gosh, in a expertise deck? Heck yeah, absolutely. So anyway, thank you for this relatively simple and straightforward addition, but one that I think it would be a very welcome option for a lot of folks playing in Mage colors. So thank you all for taking a gander. Now let's get you back to the games.
Alrighty, we are checking out Sea City Toker against Vituals. Vituals. Frequency. Thanks, Frequency, though. Yeah, Frequency develops really, really cool, nifty decks and sends me the list. And sometimes he forgets what he sends me. And in that particular case, he had sent me a deck list that he had sent me in the past. And I do try to keep him. I have reached my deck limit at different points, but as long as I've got the slots, I'm happy to include some. I've actually burned a lot of the decks that I created. They weren't amazing anyway. But in order to make room for others, just so that I have them for posterity, and of course to play in theory. So we will see what CCD can do against what looks to be a very on-meta Telvanni list from Vituals. CCD running a Tribunal, but this is a Chanter of Akatosh Tribunal. So I'm interested to see what he's able to pull off. It's a really hard card to make work because he's such a glass cannon, and he costs enough that it's really hard you have to really wait if you want to get some good value out of him, because you can't really play him and something else. And against especially a Telvanni with the silence and removals and such that it has. you know Chanter. He's a 1-2, right?
My
Yeah.
time
Yeah,
is
he's not going to survive anything. You take a fireball up the patoot before it gets to... And there's the double necro amulets that we saw before. So Vit is going to have... I mean, he ostensibly was the control deck. I mean, granted, in those colors, you know, it's you think it's pretty much control against control, but we saw Vit has gone on the aggressive, has broken that first rune, so he has taken that role. And so, oof. And there's the answer. Oh, I thought he had another one. I mean, granted, he didn't have the magic to play them both, but I'm kind of surprised. Oof.
Believers shall flock to
Chanter and
our
reverberating
noble
strike? No. Does that trigger even? It does!
The tribunal will always count to the
Oh my
people's
gosh, you got the
aid.
arcane salami involved. It's not necessarily ideal, just because you don't get a chance to exalt it, but
the light of the tribunal.
ooh, great turn for Sea City. Fantastic turn. That was phenomenal. Granted, a Ice Storm pretty much kind of wipes it all out, but it doesn't look like Vit has one. Probably going to hit the Chanter. Yep. But Sea City can respond in kind with a Encano of his own. Premium Encano of its own. No less. Lots of premiums we're seeing. Lots of legendary premiums we're seeing for Sea City, as befitting someone of his success. You know, when you, because I know he likes like many folks, he likes the events, likes the gauntlets, and if you're halfway decent at him, which he is more than halfway decent at, you get, you end up in the top. I think it's top 100, and you get like a free legendary premium. You get enough of those, and your deck can start filling up, and it really doesn't cost you anything but the cost of entry, which you get back if you win 4 games. Usually 3 or 4 games, you get your money back. Or your tickets back. So they're always good to play. I did it on my alt account because I didn't have the firebolts. And I think every single game I won 6. Was not able to get into 7. I think it was 6-5-6 or something like that. So it was a ward heavy deck. Just lots of warding. I ended up with I got a premium whoever the 5-cost 3/3 with a ward that doubles in power when it breaks the ward. Camlorn Champion, I think, maybe. Yeah, Aros is playing Nixox right now, so we'll probably jump into that after this. I was just trying to, again, change it up. I saw Sea City was on. I don't get to see him very often these days, so I wanted to make sure I got to see him and see what he's running, and he is doing a fantastic job. Wow. Yeah. It's a pleasure to watch you work, sir. Pleasure to watch you work. I mean, and Tusk said it in our conversation when we first were talking about the game, that there's just so many great minds that play this game, and I'm just happy to be able to watch them. You know, I obviously when I started it was just me playing, but so I never thought I would have, you know, a friend list like this and be able to witness all these wonderful games from all of you, and so I'm just greatly appreciative. Thank you all so much for, I say it at the end of every video, but thank you for putting your prowess on display, for giving us access to this.
See my
the
blades
living.
coming.
And while, you know, we talk about, you know, folks playing kind of broken decks, broken cards, I hate to use the word toxic because I feel like that word just gets overused today. Everything so doesn't like is toxic. It can be, but I think toxicity has some requirements for something to be truly toxic. It has to have certain things, and I think honestly the most toxic stuff is often, at least when it comes to socially, it's the more subversive and the more subtle. It's not somebody going, I hate so and so and I'm gonna call you names. That's not, I mean, you can call it toxic, but it's so in your face that you can just kind of shrug it off if you just have any self-control whatsoever. You can just be like, whatever. It's the stuff that seeps in. It's the other day I've heard somebody say you have to see it to be it. And when I was growing up, it was be the change you want to see. It was fortune favors the bold. It was if you believe you can achieve, not you will achieve, but you can achieve. And now we have sayings, and that pretty much puts the onus on the individual to say, I can do something. I'm capable of doing something. If I want to see something happen, I've got to make it happen. I can make it happen. It's a very empowering message. And yeah, life is, as the cliche goes, life is not fair. That's true. That is a truism. It's not just a cliche, it is a truism. That life is not fair. It's not fair for anybody. Sometimes you do the right thing and get screwed. Sometimes, you do the wrong thing, or you compromise, or somebody else does, and they end up winning. Cheaters win. You can watch, sports for proof of that. Sometimes you see the replay, you see somebody got away with something that won them the game. Cheaters prosper. It's now spiritually, like inside they don't, but in what seems like matters most, which is whatever's happening at that particular moment, they can win. Speaking of winning, C-City on the brink. Vit has a ton of cards to choose from right now, but Nahaglev, well, he does have to worry about Vipers and things of that nature. Yeah, Chanter doesn't work with Ice Storm, does work with Rising of Bones.
The Hist revives.
And Vitriols with all the guards in the world. And a camel. But yeah, so I think that message is, I would call that toxic because it is very subtle. When you hear you have to see it to be it, that's taking all the empowerment from the individual and putting it on society, putting it on everybody else. Oh, you have to see somebody else do it before you can believe that you can do it. You can't function like that. Society would never function if we all had that mindset. It's a warped mindset, but if we all had that mindset, nothing would ever happen because everybody would be waiting to see somebody else do it. Or in this particular case, see somebody else who resembles them in a way that they've decided is important. If I want to see somebody with brown eyes do something, well, I'm going to wait for somebody with brown eyes to do something so that I know that me as a brown-eyed person can do it. It's like I said, I think that is the definition of toxicity, because it is, when you first hear it, you're like, oh yeah, I mean, it rhymes, you got to see it to be it. It's like, yeah, that kind of sounds cool, and it seems deep and profound, but really what it's saying is, no, it's not up to you to get it done. It's not up to you to figure out a way to get it done. It's not up to you to be inventive or forward-thinking or proactive or tenacious. It's up to everybody else. It's up to society to make sure that you know that you can do it. It's up to them to make sure that you know that it's safe or that it's doable. And it's the opposite of empowering. It's a disempowering message, and it's one that needs to be gone. So that I consider to be toxic. Not somebody saying a bunch of ugly things, especially in today's day and age when you have so many ways. If you can't figure out a way within yourself to ignore them and just let it roll off, just not read the comments or just not do whatever, then, there's ways to ban or to moderate or what have you. It's rarely the enemy that you see that is the danger. Oh, and a journey deck to boot. C-City, you spicy son of so-and-so. I mean, Chanter in the journey. How cool is that going to be? What 7 cost does that summon? A sweet roll, a mighty sweet roll. Oh goodness, we have a board full of sweet rolls. Poor Chanter. He's like, I did not go to magic school so that I could summon sweet rolls. And Vit also has. So it's really going to come down to who starts drawing the back half of their deck. How many cards is, well, he's not going to have any in his discard now. I don't know. I did not. He has. Oh wait, no, he does. Wait, what? I don't know. Oh no! That's all right though. Wait, no, because he's got the shackle. Dog. I was gonna say because no, yeah, it wouldn't work anyway. Dag nabbit. An Ice Storm really not going to be great here, but that dragon is going to be big.
Smell the stench. 10
And another
of
guard.
the living.
All right, so yeah, Ice Storm is gonna help a bit. Risen Horror. Whoo-wee. So maybe we'll see Nahagleaf trade into... Oh, he's got to kill that 7-8. Yeah. Okay. Victory is still in reach here. Man. Man. Trying to push that last bit of damage. Really gotten close here, but yeah. So yeah, sorry I went off on a tangent there, but that's something that just had been kind of eating at my brain. And it all comes from me saying, you know, he said, if you're wondering, I don't have a 7 drop. Yeah, I realized that when the sweet rolls became plentiful. Ooh. And that's going to be the bummer. I think Victuals has more options for...
Meet your doom.
And he's going to have... It's a good thing for Sea City he's got all that health. He's going to need it. And that's the thing, he doesn't have the reach that Victuals does. He doesn't have any charge. I mean, he does have like things like Lightning Bolt. Ooh. Does Mute would work. It will work. He's going to save that for a guard, though. But he's going to take a lot. This is not going to kill him, I don't think. Haven't done the math, but let's see. 13, 19.
What have we here?
Ooh, boy. What a way to go, man. What a way to go. Yeah, Sea City just calling it. And for the first time, we're going to go ahead and do a follow-up on a previous custom card that was submitted by Eye of the Restless Storm, or IO, as he likes to be called as well. And it was called, it was the trio. IO, what was it? What was it again?
Heroic Trio.
The Heroic Trio. That's the 5 cost, or sorry, the 12 cost, 5/5. And remember, it had a plethora of different options you could choose and which ways to go. Some of it I was able to discern correctly, and some of it I just completely missed the point or missed the potential of it. And so I got with IO, and he is going to explain to us what was in his mind when he made the card and all the nifty stuff that it can actually do. He started explaining to me, and I figured it'd be better to hear it in his own words because it's still a lot of stuff. So go ahead and lay it on us. What are those 3 options, and how did you envision them being able to be played out?
Right, so the 3 options here, it was basically an amalgamation of a few different ideas I had. Just something a little bit different that you don't really see typically in a CCG. So the first one, where you may play a card from your opponent's hand, if they can pay its cost, we'll just start there. So it's a little bit tricky because if you pick one that's not revealed, you don't know the cost of it. So it will basically be random. But if a card is revealed and you select it, you will know exactly what you're getting. But this card is better utilized with cards like Night to Remember, Dark Rebirth, Doppelganger, even Altar of Despair, or Transmogrify as well, to grab it from your deck, and it will cost less than 12. But the reason why I made it cost 12 is because of the things you could potentially pull off with this card. It needed to have some kind of balance. So right away when you play it from hand, sure, it may cost a lot. And so you may be better off picking option 3, where you may summon a creature from either discard pile with a passive ability as an ongoing support. So that might be easier to select. So you could have a Bruma Profiteer in your discard pile. You can summon that, and you can gain health for every creature you summon. So it's kind of like an amulet, Necromancer's Amulet, but it's its own creature. And the nice thing is too, it behaves like a support as well, so your opponent has to use support removal cards rather than just other actions, which is cool. But you could also use Nyx Ox and other combo cards like that to potentially grab it from your deck as well with, what's it called? Genius Path Mage. And then you could potentially have, if it summons it when you have 12 Magicka left, you could grab a 12 cost card from other players' boneyard for option 2. Discard pile here. For option 2, if you can pay its cost, you could potentially do some really nasty shenanigans here, which would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's meant to work in combo with other cards, just because. And the reason why I made it Dominion specific as well Because if it was just assassin, then Telvanni players could get their hands on it, and it could possibly be a little bit more broken. So restricting it to these 3 colors, which in my opinion is one of the weakest trio colors in the game, it kind of brings things, open things up for a little bit more play.
Yeah. Yeah, now you mentioned right off the jump, you said something that hasn't been seen in CCGs, and I'm trying to remember from our conversation, was you've played other CCGs besides Legends, right?
Yeah, I played a little bit of Hearthstone, I played a little bit of this game called Mythgard. I haven't really played Magic or any games like that. Legends of Runeterra, I've played Gwent before, so a few games, and I haven't seen anything like this in those games, but I could be wrong.
Okay, no, and that was so it certainly wasn't. If nothing else, it wasn't inspired by you seeing something like that in the other games. This was just completely. Was it? Because and I would like to do this with everybody, but it just it takes so much time to try to organize stuff. But like, when was it? Did it start off with you going, I would really like to do this thing or have the option to do this, and you started try to create the mechanics around it, or was it just? I mean, you said it was kind of a combination of a bunch of things you wanted to do, but was it? Like, does it start off with the creature and then you figure on the stats, or did you have those 3 effects that you wanted to trigger first, and then you just essentially put them into a body?
Yeah, the stats came out later, after thinking about all these different abilities together. The stats and costs kind of came after that. But for the abilities themselves, some of them, actually all of them are based on my own project that I'm working on. Which is pretty cool, but I just wanted to chuck them in here, see how they would play out as well. So
using it as kind of a proving ground for your own, I guess, a CCG that you're developing.
Yeah,
awesome.
Working on it.
Oh heck yeah! Well, shoot, man, I was gonna say if I got ahead of myself. I'm thinking this game is gonna go into this card will go into production, and it's like, no, we don't get to see necessarily how it plays out, but you can at least get a gauge for how people see it or the feedback that you get on it.
Yeah, well, this one has 3 abilities. These are all going to be, of course, separate. So yeah, it was just it would be nice to see something like this as well in TESL. So I just kind of, when I saw that there was a custom card page in the Legendary Remnant, I was like, hey, I have this idea, why not?
Heck yeah, and that should be an encouragement. Anybody else, and you don't even have to be a part of the Discord, but if you've got a custom card idea, throw it our way. Throw it into the mix, and we'll give it a spotlight, give it a go, take a look at it, and see what's what. But yeah, no, that's a great one. And as I mentioned before, I think with the last card that it gives you, or no, maybe it's going to be Wednesdays. I can't remember. It all gets jumbled. But any card that gives you options, it's like the opposite of RNG. RNG is game going to make choices for you and you don't really have any say over it, whereas a card like this, you get to see, okay, well, do I have a Dark Rebirth? Do I have something in my hand that I can play next turn, or is this something I need to capitalize on immediately? What is it that I need? Does my opponent have? Do I literally need 1 Magicka and they happen to have that? I totally forgot that there are those cards that, like with Razzle-Dazzle or whatever, that actually show up that you can actually see. I forgot that mechanic existed, so you can actually pick and know what you're picking and say, okay, I just need 1 damage. I'm going to take the dagger from you, and there you go. That it doesn't take much. So that's, and then who was it that you mentioned that when you were talking about making a creature a support? It was the guy, the 5/3 that gives you equips a weapon to whatever creature breaks the rune.
Yeah, Heffinger Marauder.
That's it. Yes, that was. As I said in the video, I was like, I know there's potential here that I'm not seeing. That was a big one. I was like, that would be awesome to have as a support. And I guess the same thing with the House Carl, the 3/3 that gives you a card when you break a rune. I mean, they are limited by rune breaks, but could be useful as heck.
Yeah, that one I think is Crusader colors.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's right.
Yeah. No worries. But Razum, you mentioned Razum. I think his ability is passive. So you could potentially do that as well.
That is true. Yeah. Cool. It is not a summon. Oh wow, Razzle-Dazzle as a support. That's crazy. But no,
Yeah.
I think that opens up a lot of possibilities if you consider either any of those three effects being applicable to the game. I think it really it kind of it open a wide branch of things where you don't even have to have a new mechanic in the game. You just utilize those in different ways, and you could come up with a whole nother batch of cards that could be viable in the game.
Yeah.
Heck
I can see it being pretty cool.
Well, dude, thank you so much for sharing this with us. And then that goes for anybody who I butcher the interpretation of the card, or I just kind of miss it, or I'm only scratching the surface of what the potential is. I'm always happy to hear it. Even if we can't do something like this, you can tell me. Like I said, there was just a lot to unpack here, and I wanted to make sure that you heard it from the creator himself, instead of me fumbling around and trying to sort through it. I appreciate your time, and look forward to any other offerings that happen to come to mind. Send them on over. Alrighty, and we're joining Aros against Zimension. Hey, I remember that name because I don't think I pronounced it correctly the first time either. I'm trying. I definitely want to be able to pronounce things the way they're supposed to be. I just, I'm stumbling my way through. A lot of it is phonetic. Some of it's not. But this is Aros's Nyx Ox Assassin. So typically you would have seen it, and he's up against the deck that he just got through playing, which is Support Monk. Sounds like I'm asking for it. Hey guys, support Monk. Monk tries so hard. He does so many good things. Let's support Monk. Oh, Black Hand Messenger takes it to puppers. Let's see if... Frequency said this is his favorite deck to watch, which I can understand. If I recall, not all, but a lot of Frequency's decks are of a kind of a controlling nature-ish, and this is like the epitome, which it's just crazy that it's not Telvanni, that it is actually Assassin. I think that catches a lot of people off guard. Probably not Zimension, just because he is a top 10 player as well. He's in the top 50 right now with Aros, so he probably knows what Aros is doing. He's probably seen this list enough times. And yeah, Aros is gonna he might use that Ice Storm now just because, well, no. He doesn't need to, not yet. The problem is once the Standard Bearer comes down, Standard Bearer is fine. It's going to be the Divine Fervor with that is going to put them out of ice. No, wait. Because they come down as 2/2s. Divine Fervor just makes them 3/3s, so they're all very Ice Stormable. So we may just see him sit on that for a little while. Really, Aros? Okay. So don't make me look stupid. It's impossible not to, I hear you say. And you're not wrong. I say and do many silly things many times.
This one will be going, yes.
I think he's just waiting for that board to get a little bit bigger. And Z probably knows he's sitting on an Ice Storm, and he's keeping it as...
This is interesting.
Okay. Doesn't have a charger, but he's getting all the elements. Now, for somebody like me, very untrained in this, I've seen it, but I've never engaged my brain to actually sort it out myself. But I know Ulfric is important, Doppelganger is important, Nyx Ox is important, Mentor's Ring is important. These are all important things, and they're all there. I think the last piece, now, the Path Mage, I believe, at least in Classic Nyx Ox, was a huge part of it. Lyneth was a big part of it. Okay, so he's got a lot of it. He's got a lot of the pieces, just not all of the pieces. Yeah, that's big brain commentary right there.
Size alone belies.
Oh, and see, I think that's what Z was waiting on. Well, no, because it's not the 2/1. Moongate.
Hold the line.
Yep, he was waiting for Aros to play that Ice Storm. And to be fair, he didn't need to rush it, you know. We may see Nixox into Doppelganger, into Abner, into Ulfric. Or not Abner into Nixox again. So he's gonna fill the board. With a bunch of 5/5s. This craziness. I think he can do it another Ulfric's Uprising. The only thing he doesn't have, really, the piece that makes it the OTK.
Mistakes were made.
Interesting. Because he could have done Ulfric's Uprising. Oh, no, because he doesn't have anything to... He doesn't have a card to play. Of course, it's going to remove and draw 2 cards. So we'll see if Zeke gives him cards. Yeah, I thought he might.
Feel the power of the moon.
But Aros got Blackhand Messenger, which is huge because you can slap a Mentor's Ring on that and heal up quite a bit. I don't know if he's gonna. I'm guessing he's gonna trade for the board, but Z has so many cards in his hand. It's like trying to stave off the inevitable. But he can Blackhand, Mentor's Ring, make some trades, stay alive.
The Night Mother will guide us.
No, he doesn't. Is he going to uprise? Interesting. 7, 11, 12, 13, 16, 17, 18 has it. Well, okay.
Sees all.
Ooh, might have got rid of the Queen's Captain, because if he's got that lion guy thing. Okay, he doesn't. He just has a bunch of javelins. So, an uprising. That is going to be the saddest uprising. There's nobody at the party. Now, Aros emoted earlier, mistakes were made. I guess the mistake... Oh, see, Giant Bat with Mentor's Ring, that's what he needed to make the combo like an effective OTK, or at least really make that one play razzle dazzle. Is he? Yeah, he's just dead there. Okay. Sorry, Aros. Sorry. Okay. Our next contest features Amarillo designs. Amarillo has been a fantastic help on Discord. Really kind of helped. He brought in some bots to help out with management, to add some features. So huge shout out to Amarillo. Appreciate it. Also happens to be a freaking fantastic TESL player to boot. And he's up against Muffin B in the warrior. Amarillo has already made it to the lady. He is done with the lady. He's trying to move on to the tower. She's going to try to hold him back, though. She doesn't want him to leave. Amarillo, please, don't leave me. I need you. I want you so badly, don't you know? Don't you? I need you. And Muffin B is her hired hand in an attempt to keep Amarillo with her for now and always. He will eventually prevail, but the question remains whether or not he will make strides on this particular game, or if he will be thwarted. Let's see. Automaton and Sentinel Reclaimer.
Well, let's see if we
Yeah,
can
at that
find
point,
something
none
useful.
of Muffin B's creatures are very big, so he just needs bodies to make these trades. And once his Automaton dies, his Alfiq can come down next turn with a big old 7/5 and ward, making for a great offensive push. Let's see, he has 6, 9, 10. Oh, 11. Wait, he has lethal next. No, yes, he does. Let's see, 6, 10. 13. Oh no, he's gonna be one off. No, yep. No, wait. The Relentless Raider. Oh. Okay, that works too. I was gonna say, I think the Relentless Raider might have could get a Sentinel Battle Mace. No, Relentless Raider would have gotten 2 Sentinel. Yeah, so it would have been. He was one off of lethal on that. So, and he will be able to put his Alfiq Conjure down there for a guard.
Khajiit will keep you safe.
And a 7-5 with ward, which represents lethal easily. A good setup by Amarillo. We'll see if it pans out for him. The dangers, of course, being a silence. But I don't think Muffin B with 7 Magicka can push the damage and get rid of the guard at the same time. And he probably doesn't have a guard to play himself. That's the one problem with Gobos in particular, unless you're running Banelord. You don't really have... You're really typically not running any guards. You're relying strictly on removal. And you need things to combat. Now, he could have the little... What's that guy? The War Chief? The 3-feather War Chief is 1-3, I think. Combine that in a curse, and the 7-5 is gone. But the amount of time it's taken for Muffin B to work this out means he probably does not have that as an option. Nope, he's got Bloody Hand Chef, which is not the dream card. Does he have Leaf Lurker, though? Of course he does. And that may just do it. I mean, and Kano... yeah, it looks like Muffin B had the answer. Again, plays like that. I mean, obviously he does have some cards. I want to give people the benefit of the doubt. I feel like that may have been more or less good call. Hey man, yeah.
This might be handy.
Again, he's just gonna come up just short. Unfortunately, it's the second time in this game, which is always a painful way to lose. I mean, losing it all sucks, of course, but being one off of lethal twice,
A hard-fought victory.
is an even rough way. But Amarillo being a good sport about it, does concede, but gives him Muffin B the good game. We have stumbled upon Jay Shades. He is running Guildsworn, and it is not Dragon Guildsworn. Looks like it is one of the many versions of mid-range Guildsworn that is circling around out there. I could have sworn, I may be having some kind of hiccup in recollection, but like when TESL, right before it went out, I don't remember Guildsworn being the cat's pajamas. That was not considered to be one of the better decks, but man, the varieties. I mean, we've had, I know at least C Cities support Guildsworn caught on, and I've seen versions of that do very well. And you've got several varieties of mid-range. You've got Guildsworn Dragons. Of course, Expertise, that is pretty much exclusive for Guildsworn. Now, so we are seeing a lot of prophecies here, so this may be kind of either that. I mean, I know Jay Shades, when we've talked about deck building before, because when he whooped me in our initial contests, I remember he had a lot of. He runs, I think, 20 in a 3-color deck. I think he runs like 20 prophecies. So not an obscene. You wouldn't call it a prophecy Guildsworn, but it's enough. I mean, Cloud Rest, Morgul Gatekeeper, Protector of the Innocent. Most of the cards that we've seen come down so far are prophecies. And Jay Shades now at the Warrior, trying to get to the lady, trying to court the lady. Hey, you come here often? I mean, the Constellation. Come on, girl, talk to me. What's going on?
An unfortunate mistake.
Oscuria. It's amazing to me how many. Now, granted, I know we got a lot of folks, like I said, from around the world. So there's a lot of names that you can kind of tell they're not common to my tongue, to English, but like you can kind of tell they're like normal. They're like what John Smith would be for me. It's like, okay, that's more, it's just a common name there, or just a different way of spelling a name. But I gotta believe, I don't know where you'd be that Oscuria TESL. Like, where these names come from is crazy. It's just crazy to me. No real answer for the... Oh, I did actually, so from the last competition, I got my premium legendary, and it was this Serpentine Stalker. Looks really cool. Still, very rarely a worthwhile card. Even in a dragon deck, he's only going to run 1 or 2 of, maybe. I'm actually doing a Slay Halalu, which features dragons. So he's in that because it makes sense, and I'm running my one premium copy of it because he's pretty.
We'll put a stop to their tricks.
That's a prophecy too, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. So, well, I mean, it's not a prophecy of a prophecy, but there's some prophecies that are just so obscure that when you see them, you just assume somebody's running a prophecy heavy deck. Like what's her face, Fate Weaver, the 3/3 at 6 cost, but she draws a card, and if it's a prophecy, you can play it. Typically, you only see her when you can be playing prophecies. And you can afford the trigger. Ooh, got a nice premium Reeve there. That's really what I was hoping for. I want some of these unique legendaries. Queen Baron, Zaya, Reeve, even a Blood Dragon. I know that's not a unique legendary, but I'd love a Blood Dragon. But a lot of times I get these, get the premiums. And I'm not going to complain per se, but I'm doing that actually. I am complaining, I guess. That some of them just aren't all that, that they're, they're legendaries that I just don't normally play. I mean, like an Alfie Conjurer, that's not a unique. I would love to have that one because it features in so many decks. It's Hazcad and Kano. Like I said, Serpentine Stalker, probably with the glowing eyes and the wind effects, probably was one of the better looking dragons. It's just one that doesn't get a lot of love. But anyway, yeah, I'm trying like a Slay Halalu deck. We'll see how that comes together. I might bring it over. Like, there definitely are times, you can kind of get inspired to build. And it's taken a little while for me, but I'm starting to get the embers. The embers are burning where I'm going, I might want to, maybe not next month. It depends on what's going on. Tears of the Kingdom, the new Zelda game's coming out this weekend. And I plan to start streaming that on Rumble. Probably on the weekends, like Saturday and Sunday mornings. For 3 or 4 hours, maybe. I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out. How far I can go. Ooh, and that's a sad Mundus. Goodness gracious. Sad Mentor's Ring right there. That's another one I got a premium copy of. It's great, but again, just limited use. All right. I guess that wasn't. It was a sad Mentor's Ring because it didn't teach anybody anything, but it did at least draw a card. And right now,
we must protect our strong.
Oscar. I'm just gonna leave it as Oscar. Oh, the douche. Aiming to make a trade with Reeve. Reeve will still get how many? He's been on the board, I feel like 2 turns? Yeah, 4 damage. So he's gonna get 4 damage even as he trades with the douche. Really, no. I mean, you want Abner on the board, but there's really no good summon for him. I mean, you could ping the Lumbering Ogrim. Uh-oh.
We'll put a stop to their tricks.
Yeah. Wow. That's his second. Well, he didn't play him as a prophecy last time.
Citizen.
All right. So yeah, J Shades at this point. Oh, interesting. Interesting. All right. So this is a balance act. So for me, I'm thinking, okay, I'm running low on cards. I want my opponents to hit me in the face, but you've probably seen that bite me in the butt many times because, Oscar would throw on a, like a battle mace, and suddenly he's doing 11 points of damage. I'm down to 19. I've only got a 4-point lead on him, and all I've got is my diddly little,
By the fires of oblivion.
Oreo gal over there in the field lane. And then he heals up, and we're tied. So I'm not saying Oscar does have that. We might see the Belly G come down and punt the Lumbering Ogrim, but that would mean that he needs to be okay. Here we go. All right, so he's going to race, and the good news is, if he can keep it on the board, he's got Abner, and that is a very viable target. Does not hit, does not want to trigger that, run the risk of hitting a prophecy and losing his Belly G. Loses it to Fell the Mighty, but at least it cost Oscar something to play that. Hrothgar Forge. A lot of these cards, I remember when people talk about like cards like, the Forge, and even Hoopstone and cards like that, and they'll say, it's a win more a lot of times. In these situations, it really isn't, because you can see there, well, I mean, granted, Oscar is still playing catch up. But, with wow, see? It's when your board is pretty much even this late in the game, when you can play Mundus, you can play the Forge, you can play a variety of these cards that are if you have to play them on curve, they're not great, and they can kill your momentum. But if you survive to the late stages of the game, they're a huge value add, and they can really turn the tide there. You know, oh, that sucks for Ogrim. He's gonna die. Oh, jeez. So Merrick, possibly costing his team the game. That bit of RNG. RNG's the least, but he still has a bat with 5 health, and he's probably going to be able to throw another weapon on it. Belly G, really not. I mean, maybe punt the 3-7 or get rid of the Forge. I would say the Forge is going to be. It fortunately for J Shades bit Oscar in the butt with giving the Ogrim that had lethal the sword. That was one of the only cards that could have screwed him like that. Oh, he's going to take a chance. But, you know, you can also high roll. Hrothgar could spit out that, you know, an Heirloom Greatsword or Dwarven Armaments, any number of...
We'll put a stop to their tricks.
Yeah, it's just going to start generating crazy value for him. Ooh, that's a heck of a combo.
This might do in a pinch.
Luckily, for J Shades, no weapons. Or no effects. There's that battle mace, I thought, and I didn't see where he pulled it from, doggone it. I feel like he's been holding on to that, though. And he's just now playing it because he has to. There we go, there we go. There's the old 1-2. Wow. Ooh. I mean, that's not bad. And man, if he just didn't have wards on both those creatures. What a rough turn of events.
Quench your thirst.
And you can see Oscar is still trying to starve J Shades of cards he has not hit, even with the bat. He knows he's got enough health to keep him alive. Again, if he did not have that mace, I mean, obviously you can say, oh, if and what have you. Oh, yep, that's gonna be GG.
By the 8th, they
With 5 drain on board, that is going to be GG. I mean, oh, too little, too late. I mean, honestly, if he comes out as a 12 guard in the shadow in the field lane, might be able to do something. Okay, he goes for the. Interesting. I mean, probably didn't want to take a risk that he was going to get. You know, get another. Dang it. That is a prophecy. It is just not a good one. To be fair, a lightning bolt's not going to do it. He would need a javelin prophecy to pull this off, and it doesn't matter. Oscar takes it. Well played, J Shades. Boy, that was a rough game. And that's going to wrap up today's video. Thank you so much to all of you who put your prowess on display, who bled and fought on the battlefield for the entertainment of us all. Thank you to those who watched for your interest in said battles, and also for your toleration of my incessant tangents and prattling on. What can I say? It's a clinical thing. Until next time, keep playing.